Okay, folks, here's a quick review of the Arkham Knight Batman figure that was produced by Mattel as a part of the DC Comics Multiverse line of 3 3/4-inch scale action figures. Okay, this Batman figure shows what Batman will look like in the forthcoming Arkham Knight video game. It appears that the costume design has been tweaked, and it now resembles a blend of what we saw Batman wearing in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises movies, as well as what we saw in the Injustice video game. Now, I have to admit, I was a little reluctant to get this figure since the last 2 Multiverse Batman figures I reviewed were good, but not great figures. However, I will say that I did like the costume design on this figure when I saw it at my local Walmart, so I decided to give it a chance and see if there were any improvements. Okay, the articulation joints on Batman were easy to move straight out of packaging. Batman has articulation in the head, shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, the waist, the hips, and the knees. There's an additional articulation joint just above Batman's knee. Batman's head can turn 360 degrees, but there is no up and down movement. The elbows and knees appear to be single jointed, and the wrists bend 360 degrees, but feature no other range of movement. The shoulders can move in and out, but 360 degree movements don't appear to be possible due to the shoulder pads on Batman's new costume. And the hip articulation allows forward and back movement of the legs, as well as the ability to pose the figure, nearly doing splits. And I will say that I was glad to see that Batman's cape is now cloth, as opposed to plastic on the other Arkham Batman figures that I previously reviewed. On a side note, somebody asked me on one of the toy forums if the bat symbol was sculpted, as opposed to painted, on the previous Arkham Batman figures, and this bat symbol appears to be sculpted. Okay, paint apps were nicely done on the figure with no appreciable errors to speak of, and the detailing on the figure is also nicely done. So let me pause here, zoom in, and I'm going to give you a closer look as to what the Arkham Knight Batman looks like. Okay. No accessories were included in the package, so what I'm going to do now is a quick 360 of the Arkham Knight Batman for you, and let you see what he looks like from all sides. And the figure stand that you see him standing on was not included in the packaging. So here is Arkham Knight Batman from the front. Here is Arkham Knight Batman from the left-hand side. Okay, here he is from the rear. Okay, here he is from the right-hand side. And finally, here we are once again facing forward. So overall, I have to say that this is a pretty good figure. The paint apps are nicely done, and there's a good range of posing options. However, I do feel that it was a mistake on Mattel's part to not include any accessories, because, as I've stated previously, I feel Batman needs to have at least a batarang, just like Spider-Man needs his webbing, or Captain America needs his shield. I also think that some ankle articulation, it would have been good to have on this figure as well, but there are still good posing options nonetheless. So therefore, I think this Batman figure is good, bordering on great. I think this Batman figure is a good display piece in this scale, and in spite of the lack of accessories, I feel that it is an improvement over the last 3 3/4-inch scale Batman figure that I reviewed. Okay, so on that note, take care and stay tuned for my next review. Have a good one.